guys, it's Lindsay from Perfectly Bookish 5, and I'm going to talk about some of my recent reads. I'm going to be talking about 3 books. I haven't been doing a very good job at keeping track of my reads lately. I got in this weird reading funk, but one of these books I finished at the end of June, and these are the first 2 I finished in July, so I'm just going to talk about those 3. One of the last books I finished in June was Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. This is a first in a series by Tessa. I believe the second book is The Au Pair Affair, which possibly by the time this video comes out, the second book will be out, because I believe it comes out in July, but double check on that. So this book follows a golfer. So if you're into reading different kinds of sports romance, then this is going to be for you, because it's about golf. We have a golfer and then we have a huge fan. The golfer, he's just having some trouble with his game and he's having a really bad attitude, and there was a contest to have, was it lunch or dinner? It was to have a meal with him, and his ultimate fangirl won. She's at every, is it a golf match? I think they're called matches when they compete. Not totally sure on that, but she is there, always cheering him on, has posters for him, and is his #1 fan. He owns a golf place of her own, and she knows a lot about golf. And he ends up not even showing up for the meal. He just wants to quit all the tournaments, and he's just kind of over everything. And like I said, just has a really bad attitude. He realizes like what a jerk he was, because his #1 fan finally doesn't show up and isn't there for him. So he wants to turn things around, and he goes to find her and breaks a deal with her that if she caddies for him, he will help out with her business money-wise, and they end up becoming a team. If you don't know what a caddy is in golf, they are the person who carries the golf clubs for the golfer and also gives some pointers here and there to the professional golfer. Not really seen that there are girl caddies for a male golfer, so when she hits the first game with him, the first tournament, it makes news in the golfing world, and it even is more surprising to people that she actually knows what she's talking about. She knows her game, and he is starting to make improvements, and he's becoming one of the better golfers again. Along the way, they start to form a relationship. I really enjoyed this book by Tessa. I like the characters. I especially really like the female character, and she always has a positive energy, and she is doing what she can to help the golfer and help her business as well. And she's just making a point that women can be awesome in this field, in this game, and they know what they're talking about. And I'm excited to read book 2. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The first book I ended up finishing in July, which I believe it either came out like July 1st or 2nd, so it is a newer release, is the 4th book in the Time River series by A.L. Jackson, Hold Me Until Morning. This follows Cody and Haley. Cody is the brother of, was it Dakota, which we get in book 2. I believe. So Cody just got a really big construction, like working deal, working at this place. It's a huge contract, and he's driving home one day and some new neighbors are moving in, and it is pouring rain. He notices a woman out there, and he's like, why the heck is she trying to move in the pouring rain? So he talks himself up to be neighborly and goes over to her place to help, and she's like, I don't need it. And he doesn't even recognize her from the past. There was this one summer where they were younger, and it takes him a while to notice. I mean, it's pouring rain, it's dark, and she just, doesn't want his help at all. And Haley ends up having a daughter, and she lives with her grandma as well. Haley is escaping an abusive relationship, and she's trying to cut ties, and she's trying to start over. So she goes back to her hometown, and she loves working with horses and is like a ranch hand or a horse trainer. And her dad has one of his own, but she doesn't want to work for him. She just wants to make a name for herself. Her daughter is really cute in this, like saying like how kids just speak what's on their mind. So it's cute that she does that and is a fun character. Haley doesn't tell her grandma or her dad the truth about why she left her husband, why she wants to get divorced. And at first that seemed really odd to me, and like you had the courage to leave him, but now you're not telling the people around you why, and that becomes more clear towards the end. It's funny because the place where Cody got this really big contract is the place where Haley is working. So they see a lot of each other, and then you get the other characters from the first 3 Time River books, which I love. I always love getting to revisit the characters that you already met and enjoyed, so it's fun to see them sprinkled in there. Then we have Haley's ex-husband coming to find her, and he is not willing to let her go, so Cody steps in and helps out with Haley and her family. To be honest, at first I really didn't like Cody. I thought he was just a little creepy with how he was approaching Haley and trying to get her attention. But then as the story went on, I really enjoyed him. I loved Haley throughout the whole thing. She's really brave. She's doing what she can for her daughter, for her family, making a name for herself. I mean, just to leave her husband was huge in itself. And I did have some tears at the end of the book. I wasn't like full-blown ugly crying, but I did have the tears coming down my face with what happens. I really enjoyed this book. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Yesterday I finished Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. And I've enjoyed Riley's books. This one I only gave 3 out of 5 stars. There was a good mystery, and I enjoyed trying to figure out who done it, what was going on, but it did drag for me, and it just wasn't as interesting of other books that I read of Riley's. That's why I gave it 3 stars. Well, we have our main character who is moving back to his hometown. He's moving into his parents' house, and he was married. You'll find out some information on that in the story. The story jumps back from the present to the past, which I don't mind. I know some people don't like those jumps, but it's necessary for the story. And our character hasn't been home, Ethan, in a really long time because when he was a kid, his friend Billy went missing. Ethan and Billy were having a sleepover, and when Ethan woke up, Billy wasn't in the tent. They were sleeping in a tent outside. There was a big slash in the tent. Billy was gone. No one was able to find him. There weren't really many leads on who could have taken Billy. They went to Ethan's dad, Billy's dad, and stuff just wasn't adding up. So Ethan has his own ghost, and he does not like being at home, but with something that happened in his adult life, he decides to move back, and his parents were finally ready to leave this house, and so they offered it up to their son. So he is back home, and while he's there, it's bringing up all these memories of the past, and he again is trying to figure out what happened to his friend. And what ends up happening, I didn't think it's what would have happened. I was going a different way, so I like when a book can surprise me and it isn't obvious what happened. But yeah, it was good. It just wasn't what I was expecting from, like, compared it to some other books that he has written. So there's a nice quick recent reads video for you. I am hoping to get back on track with recording the books that I have been reading and just getting more into my reading again. And yeah, let me know down below some of the recent reads that you have read and if you enjoyed them or not. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.